Hi, everyone. I just wanted to send out a video today because I figured that would be a little easier, especially because I'm tired and it allows me to ramble a bit more. I wanted to do a quick video just to share where Shepherd is going and how I'm planning to help authors over the next 3 to 4 years. And this is based on a lot of what I've learned over the last couple of years, all my conversations with authors, and where I feel I can have the biggest impact and the most fun. So when Shepherd got started, our aim was to help authors by helping them hone in on the most likely reader for their book. Our first format was the best books around a theme, topic, or mood, and that theme, topic, or mood should be close to your book. So if you are sharing, the best fantasy books with orcs, and you share 5 books with orcs, your fantasy book should be close to that. That helps a little more. And then nonfiction is similar. If you're doing something like the best books about the greatest battles of World War II, your book needs to be about World War II in some way so that the readers who come to that list are also going to be interested in you and your book. So this was our first format, and this was based on some testing I had done before I launched, and it looked like it worked well. And the data supports that. It does work well because that list gets readers interested in you and your book because they can see your passion and expertise on the subject, and generally they like it. So we're basically focused on doing 2 things for authors. Like I said, the first one is creating and launching formats to help authors get their book in front of the most likely readers for it. Now, we started with the best book format around a theme, topic, or mood that most of you are very familiar with because it's the main one we've had. We're also working towards launching additional formats based on that same idea. So I was hoping to get these out this year. That's not going to happen. With only a part-time, developer, it takes us a while to build things, and it just moves a little slower sometimes than I would like. But next year, we will be launching a format around interesting facts and stories, and that is designed to get you in front of a target audience. So, for example, let's say you have an interesting story about how the tic-tac-toe developed, and your book is about the history of tic-tac-toe or board games in history or something like that. This would allow you to share an interesting story about, tic-tac-toe's history or an interesting fact about it, and we would profile your book and you next to that. So it's a way really designed heavily for nonfiction authors to get in front of readers, or people looking for interesting stories and so on, and then help switch them over. Well, you should buy this book. This also, of course, can work for fiction authors if their book is in that realm. So if you write historical fiction, it can also be a good play. Another format that we have lightly been testing, but I haven't had as much time yet, is a character browser. And it's basically a way for authors to introduce their character readers. This is really designed primarily for fiction, but can work for some nonfiction authors. And this is a way for a reader who, say, loves Bosch, like myself, to go in and say, I love Bosch, show me other characters and let me find them. I'm still working on this idea and I'm hoping to test next year. But the idea is you could go in and say, okay, show me all the characters who are police or PI. And then you can put in different things to hone in on them in some way that triggers your interest in them. Maybe you want them to look like you. Maybe you want them to be lesbian or something else. It isn't, any of those characteristics that might help somebody connect to a book. We want to help authors connect with readers. So those are 2 formats that kind of show that general aim of what we're working to do. So the second thing that we are working to do to help authors is we are trying to create a platform that allows authors and people who love books to recommend books and build a fan base around that. I think one reason I love independent bookstores is because a person or a team of people are curating the books in that store and they're very knowledgeable on it. And that's what I want to develop, but on Shepherd and around book recommendations. And this is something that is happening in other places. This is happening on YouTube. This is happening on TikTok for some types of books. But I really feel that there needs to be a place where it's happening on the web, and where it is happening via email, because these are places that people use on a daily basis and don't change. One of the problems with social media is that they bring you in, you bring your community over, And then once you kind of hit this high point, they stop showing your posts to people and it goes down. So like right now, if you go post on your Facebook page, only 1% of people who follow that page might get it. And that's worthless because they want to then switch you over to paying for ads. TikTok has been really great at first because they wanted you to bring your friends and your communities on here. And I expect that that's slowly going to start limiting the sharing you can do on there because they're going to want to start converting people to ads. We'll see how they handle it. But this is something that Facebook, Twitter, and pretty much every platform has done as they've tried to switch from burning VC money to profitability. So what I'm trying to do here is hopefully give birth to 3,000 book recommenders, and hopefully they each grow their fan base and we give them a platform that can help them do that. And then they can keep, doing similar on YouTube, TikTok, whatever they want to do. And we will help readers find that. We really see ourselves as assisting in that. So that's kind of the focus. The first platform that's developing, the first format that's developing around that is the upcoming favorite 3 books of the year, which I've obviously talked about a lot because I'm very excited to launch. It's the first new format that we've done. And the idea here is that all the authors who are taking part get to share their favorite 3 reads of the year. It still promotes their book. And what we're also going to do is any readers who land on your page can sign up to be alerted when you share additional book recommendations or next year's book recommendations. And that is the first step in building fan bases around the book recommendations, so that, next year when you share, your book recommendations, maybe 100 people signed up to, get those. And we want to keep that rolling. And the big reason why I want to help develop this is each one of these book recommendation channels is another place for authors to get exposure, just like an independent bookstore, but hopefully on the web, and we can really grow it in scope and type for every type of reader. I personally read a lot of science fiction, fantasy, historical fiction. I would love to find people that read a lot, know their stuff, and can recommend historical fiction to me, and I can see the passion, in those picks. I would love to find somebody that loves science fiction like I like. And this is what we're moving towards, is we're going to be working to help readers find the people who speak to them through the book recommendations and help them subscribe, at least to email and web, and then also try to help support whatever that book recommender is doing, whether it be a YouTube book recommendation or anything else, or nothing at all. So those are the 2 ways that I'm really working over the coming years to help authors to help get more exposure for their book, and hopefully develop more of a marketing ecosystem on the internet for books, because I really feel that is lacking right now. So I hope that helps with a general overview. Of course, hit reply, ask me questions, let me know if that sparks any ideas on your side. Yeah, have a great week. Bye.